Establishing and maintaining a strong online presence requires continuous effort whilst also adapting to change. In today's digital marketplace, pursuing a stable and secure functional web development process can make that critical difference between a success and a failure. Website development is key in making sure that the website that you have is safe, secure, and can perform the way exactly that you want it to perform, and also have the exact functionalities that you can. In this video, we're going to talk all about web development, what it is, and all about web developers as well, and the different kinds of web developers that there are. So website development refers to the actual building and construction of a website. It's different to website design, which refers to the design process of building your website, and this involves deciding the layout, structure, and different colors and branding used across your website. Web development will come after, once the design has been signed off and is ready for the actual build phase. So web development is the process of constructing a website and ensuring the infrastructure of a website is stable, secure, and functional. A lack of strong website development puts websites at risk of not functioning properly, losing traffic, decreased sales, and possibly some security concerns. It's also worth noting that consumer purchase decisions are increasingly determined by the user experience on websites. Web development ensures that the purchasing process is smooth for e-commerce websites and that everything is functioning efficiently behind the scenes. There are many methods for constructing a website, and they can be built manually with in-depth handwritten code or with free and user-friendly website development platforms like WordPress. Pre-built website development platforms like WordPress are known as WYSIWYG editors, what you see is what you get, where you basically just have to drag website elements into place. Building a website from scratch is much more difficult and requires more expertise, but even the pre-built website templates still take some patience, knowledge, and understanding as well. So what does a web developer do? A web developer is the architect of your website. They construct and manage the website, ensuring that it has strong core infrastructure as well. Web developers are highly skilled in creating websites through a variety of platforms and programs. Their main aim is to ensure that a website functions properly and securely. Web developers ensure that navigation is smooth, fix any hosting issues, create URLs, create new pages, optimize SEO practices, and ensure that your pages on their website follow SEO best practice, increase performance, increase capacity, and also ensure security and functionality as well. Websites should be functional as well as aesthetically pleasing. Creating a strong and engaging website is a complex process, but a poorly developed website will frustrate visitors and may even affect your brand's reputation and potential sales as well. A skilled web developer will create and design a high-performing website that best suits your business industry needs. At ProfileTree, our team of web developers keep up to date with web development technologies and continuously improve their development skills as well. A lot of these technical web development terms may feel like jargon, and it can be quite overwhelming if you're thinking of creating or maintaining a business website. So it's always really important to make sure that as a developer you keep improving your own web skills and keep practicing and keeping up to date with new trends and things like that. At ProfileTree as well, we also offer courses and training sessions where you can learn how to manage your website based on the platform it's built on. So what are the different types of web developers? There are 3 different types of website developers. There's front-end developers, back-end developers, and full-stack developers as well. Front-end developers are proficient in coding languages like HTML, JavaScript, or CSS code. Many of them are trained also in graphic design programs like Photoshop or Adobe Premiere Pro. Front-end developers consider the website layout and formatting, things like structure and design, maneuvers throughout the site, site functionality, site navigation, internal and external links as well. They are concerned with the visual and interactive aspects of a website, although it's more than just making a website look appealing. Front-end web developers create familiar layouts of our favorite publications and sites, and making visitors feel familiar with your web page so that they can preempt the navigation paths and explore your business a little bit better as well. Back-end developers tend to focus more on the infrastructure and technical aspects of building a website. Their role involves investigating different designs for businesses and figuring out which works best for the client needs and target audience, and also what works best within your budget as well. Back-end developers might also manage website security, manage website hosting, monitor site traffic, monitor web speed, process the data, maintain mechanisms that perform web actions, debug sites as well. They stay on top of web development trends and implement tactics to stay competitive in the online market. And that's something that's really important to think about whenever you are starting out as a web developer, or when you are hiring out a web developer to build your site. Are they keeping up with the latest best practice, the latest trends, and things like that? Lastly, then we have the full stack developers, and full stack developers are simply that they are full stack. They work on everything from back end to all the way to the front end, and they have a wider range of web development skills and are able to manage construction of a website from beginning to end. Often full stack developers will have an in-depth expertise in the role of software and web development. They're also proficient in the following areas. Areas like hosting environments, web servers and network capabilities, databases, both relational and correlational, application programming interfaces, correlation between user interface and user experience, quality assurance, website and program security as well. Full stack development can also be offered as an agency service, where a client can pay full stack development from an agency, but the actual front end and back end processes might be handled by different members of staff or even different internal teams. As mentioned before, it's really important that as a developer you keep up to date with your web development skills. In the wake of COVID-19, businesses are recognizing the importance of digital transformation, and with more and more demand for websites, web development is becoming a very crucial industry with updates to practices and software daily. Honing your web development skills is critical if you want to continue being the best that there is. Taking the time to practice your coding and developing as a programmer can help you build more complex sites. There are also plenty of web applications that you can help develop, and this will help you develop your technique and abilities as well. Your code will be more readable and have better performance metrics and maintainability when you focus on improving your skills. And there's loads of web development skills that are essential to improving your web development capabilities, and there's loads of ways to hone that as well. One example might be to contribute to open source projects. So open source projects allow you to immerse yourself in code and find a greater understanding of the language that you are typing. Software like GitHub offers great opportunities to contribute to these projects. You can either get involved with an existing open source project or try and create an iteration of it by yourself. It's a great way to meet like-minded people, as you can contribute to existing projects and help it reach their final stage by fixing minor bugs to improve the stability of a particular project as well. Taking this hands-on approach to coding allows you to have a greater understanding of coding itself and exposes you not only to traditional coding, but also unique coding that is done by other people, which can help you with your own knowledge base as well. Collaborating with other coders also helps you enhance your skills, as they can help point out what you're doing well and what requires improvement to unlock your full coding potential as well. Another really good way to improve on your development skills is to search for new skills in general. So the internet has opened up an incredible amount of opportunities to allow us to develop a new talent and skills. This is also true of web development. There are a variety of different web development tutorials online to help you enhance your knowledge, share and pick up new trends in the industry as they happen. One of the most exciting parts of web development is that it's constantly evolving and there are new programming languages to learn constantly. You could learn to build plugins for WordPress, or you may end up building your own mobile app. The possibilities are endless. Learning through tutorials might not give you the level of mastery you need to be fully sufficient in a particular skill, but it does expose you to it and gives you the opportunity to test it yourself and grow your knowledge, which could eventually lead to further study in that field. New skills create new passions, and the only way to enhance your offerings is through learning and developing your skills as much as possible yourself. A really good website for learning to code is Codecademy. Codecademy have a large catalogue of different coding languages that you can look into and see if it's for you. They divide their catalogue into actual coding languages by topics. So if you know you want to go into web development or data science, you can click into those topics here, or you can even learn by career path and they'll get you those skills as well. So it's organized really nicely, and it just means that you have a way to kind of start a starting point in terms of learning how to code as well. A lot of their courses are free, but they do have pricing plans that have some really cool features as well, so definitely want to check it out as well. When you are learning as a developer, you want to make sure that you write as much code as possible. Arguably, the most important part to all website development skills is that writing code is crucial if you want to become the best developer you can possibly be. The more you practice at any skill, the better you become at it, and it's really that simple. Coding is no different. It requires plenty of thought and concentration, and doing it daily can help familiarize yourself with coding languages. Writing code consistently helps you become a better programmer, as you are able to enhance your skill set and also recognize issues more swiftly, reducing the chances of mistakes, ensuring that you are more efficient when dealing with client sites, which means more money and more business for you as well. Another great way of doing this is learning your favorite code editor. Every developer has one, and even doing something like learning the shortcuts to the code editor that you have can help you code more efficiently and effectively. Use your favorite tool to make you more productive and explore the variety of features that it can offer you. Experimenting with it will make you a better programmer. And some people build websites without coding, but coding can make your website custom and incredibly user-friendly as well. There's loads of code editors out there, but and we can go over some popular code editors as well, but definitely picking a code editor and learning it as much as possible will help you with your coding what works as well. Another thing that you want to do is ensure that you sandbox your experiments. So you're coding every day and experimenting with different lines of code, but how will you remember everything you have learned? Ensuring that you sandbox your experiments so that you have nothing left is written in vain. Everyone makes mistakes, and whether you're a front-end or a back-end developer, you'll need to keep track of them. Sandboxing your code can be easier. All you have to do is set up a server environment on your computer. This could be LAMP for Linux users, MAMP for Mac users, or WAMP for Windows users. When you keep experimental code confined to your server environment, it also means you don't have to worry about your entire code base being impacted, and mistakes are easily identified to prevent them from happening in the future. This also permits you to explore the freedom of coding and be able to fail without any consequence, enhancing your web development skills as well. What you can do is also use a website like CodePen, an online editor, to test out different bits of code that you don't want to add to your website just yet, or your application just yet. And there's also lots of challenges to help practice some coding projects and things like that. Lastly, then, you want to make sure that you properly document your code. This may seem obvious, but many people forget to do this simple task, which is commenting on your code. Documentation is sincerely important. While everyone wants code that's written for human readability first, sometimes that isn't possible. Sometimes code can't be simplified or made more readable for users, and it is at times like this that commenting is really crucial for understanding. Comments explain to other developers what you are trying to do with your code, why you're doing it, and how you have implemented it. It can also be critical for helping you understand your previous actions and why you have chosen a particular line. Commenting gives you time for an assessment of your work and is a useful tool for guiding you through code that you might have to pause on while you are working on other pressing projects. Improving your web development skills is so important. Web development is one of the most rewarding and challenging skills that you can engage with due to different trends and languages impacting how you build sites and other types of applications and technologies. Becoming familiar with these trends and studying as often as possible will help you become a better developer as you master programming fundamentals. As mentioned before, there are lots of tools used by developers, both front-end and back-end developers, including full-stack ones, and some tools are more essential than others. We'll also go over some tools used by both types of developers as well. Getting to know the tools of the trade can make your job a lot easier and keep you on top of skills that you might need to land a developer job or work better with your current team and your clients. So first one we mentioned before, but code editors. As a developer, you spend most of your day in your code editor because it's the place where you actually write the code for your sites. All editors provide the plain text format you needed for your code to be interpreted as a website. One of the best web editors out there is Atom. So Atom streamlines your work by letting you customize it with thousands of add-on features, functions, and themes. So the tool that you use the most looks and works exactly how you want it. To add different add-ons, you just go into packages and you can go into Package Manager, and you essentially can just look at different community packages, core packages, and add them onto your website or add them onto your editor and have the editor behave exactly how you want it. And because Atom was built by the same company that created Git and GitHub, you can also access these tools directly via Atom as well. Sublime Text is another much loved editor known for its go to anything feature. And it allows you to move quickly through your code, multi-select to save keystrokes, and highlight to easily spot similar sections of code as well. Visual Studio Code is a relatively new but very powerful editor, and it features IntelliSense for smart auto-completion of your code, built-in debugger for fewer mistakes, and live code for working with other developers in the same editor as well. So it's a really good collaborative one to use if you wanted to work with other people in your code as well. Aside from code editors, we're also going to look at some version control systems as well. So even if you're freelancing, but especially if you're part of a team, you need a reliable version control system. Then that'll help you keep track of all the changes that you've made to your code over time, because at some point you'll definitely need to check or even revert to an earlier version of your code base. Git is a top choice for version control systems. It's by far the most well-supported and frequently chosen system nowadays. It allows everyone on your team to work on the same files in the same project simultaneously without worrying that you might be overwriting someone else's work. It gives developers more freedom to work wherever and whenever they want, since everyone has a local copy of the code. And just makes it a very collaborative and team-friendly version control system as well. Some other tools that you might need are anything to do with your front-end assets. So once you've made a solid start at setting up your code, you'll want to make sure it's looking savvy and looking streamlined as well. By selecting some stunning front-end assets like fonts, icons, photos, graphics, you can transform any site from boring to beautiful. When it comes to front-end assets, one of the things you want to think about are fonts. So Google Fonts is a front-end asset that basically has a selection of fonts that some free, some premium, but basically allows you to use fonts on your website. Fonts typography has two main purposes in graphic design. The first is to promote legibility, and the second is to help communicate the messaging, tone, and sentiment of a design piece. Another function of typography revolves around aesthetics, and we're drawn visually to attractive designs as well that are clean and easy on the eyes as well. So choosing a font and not being restricted by the fonts that you have available is really important. So that's why we recommend Google Fonts a lot to help you with your font assets as well. As well as fonts, you also want to think about something like iconography. So websites like Font Awesome are basically a library of icons that are offered to you. There's more than 1,000 that are there for free, and there's more than 7,000 there that are on the paid plan. But there's similarly loads and loads of different icons that you can use. Icons are really important because they help break up some text. They help arrange some text as well on your website that makes it really easy for users to read. They're eye-catching, and they give your website a more modern and fun kind of feel to it as well. So Font Awesome is definitely something that we'd recommend, and they're very easy to download font packs and add them to your website as well. Finally, another key part of front-end assets are images. So images that you can use as part of your blog post, images that you can use to fill in some white space or separate out some text is really important. And making sure that you have access to stock images as well as your own images, and having a mix of that onto your website and using them appropriately on your website is really important. Unsplash is an image website boasting more than 800,000 high-resolution stock photos that are free to use at no charge and no copyright hassles either. All you need to do is go into Unsplash and search for the types of images that you want to add, and then just download them. And you can download them in any quality as well, in any size. You can download them in small, medium, or large, or you can download them in the original size as well. It is really important though, when you are downloading and uploading images from Unsplash, that you are compressing them correctly. So either using a website like TinyPNG to upload your image and then compress them before uploading them onto your website, or uploading to your website and then using a plugin like Smush to compress your image is really important, as the images that you download from Unsplash are really high quality and they can take up a lot of space on your server and cause some performance issues. So it's really important that you compress them either before or after, but as long as they get compressed, will help you with your loading issues. We do recommend though you compress them beforehand so that you don't have the space issue from the beginning either. So those front-end assets websites, so Google Fonts, Font Awesome, and Unsplash, for majority of them are free for the most part, so they're really good to use as well. And those kind of tools are mainly used by front-end developers when they are first kind of building out the site as well. As you build your sites, often you want to make modification and test how they look live in your browser before committing these changes, and you can do all of this with developer tools, also called dev tools for short. Dev tools are a function built into modern web browsers, so browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Safari, they all have this kind of web inspector element, and it lets you basically peek at the code behind your website or any website, so it's a really good way to learn a thing or two from other developers. We recommend Chrome DevTools just because Chrome is one of the industry leaders and DevTools is well organized and easy to use, but it can be worth checking out this feature on other different browsers in case that works better for you as well. So the way Chrome DevTools works is you'll come across any web page, and even your own web page as well, right click and click on inspect. This is for the Chrome version, and you can see all of the essentially the site layout, and you can see sort of any kind of all the layout of the code as well. Any issues that you might run into will also come here in the console. Any issues in terms of security issues, bugging issues, JavaScript issues, they'll all be listed out in the console in the issues part as well. They'll be flagged in this little corner, and it just means then everything's sort of organized and you can test out different things as well before actually adding them to your code. Another thing you can do with Inspect Element is test the responsiveness of a website. So if you click onto this responsive icon at the top here, you can essentially change your viewport so that your website is being viewed on potentially different platforms. So you can either do custom dimensions, or you can use dimensions from existing popular devices like the iPhones, Samsung, iPads, things like that. And it'll basically resize your viewport, and you can see how that website looks on those different viewports. Responsive design is essentially when your site displays differently depending on what device it's being viewed on. Essentially, the appearance of the site is automatically adjusted to suit the screen on the user's device, and this involves a combination of resizing elements, collapsing menus, rearranging components of your site, displaying different media, and in some cases even hiding some sections as well. This might seem complicated, but most modern web development tools offer responsive design as a native functionality. Mobile devices now account for more web traffic now more than ever. More and more people are going online using their phones, tablets, and even their TVs. For businesses, this presents an opportunity as well as challenges. For instance, it's now more than ever to ensure that your site works properly on all devices as well, and that's where responsive design comes in. So the Inspect Element tool is really good to kind of test your design. It's worth noting though it can be a bit glitchy and sometimes will display a little bit incorrectly as well. But it is really good to kind of see any major kind of issues that will kind of be flagged up in the Inspect Element tool as well. So it's good to kind of keep using that and keep checking that as you're building out your site. To get around this though, there are other popular platforms that are dedicated to testing websites in different browser platforms. BrowserStack is a web and mobile testing platform that provides developers with the ability to test their websites and mobile applications across on-demand browsers, operating systems, and real-life mobile devices as well. It essentially allows developers instant access to a cloud platform that allows them to comprehensively test their websites and mobile applications on more than 2,500 real devices and browsers, replacing the need for teams to own and manage an in-house test infrastructure. So unlike Inspect Element, not only do you have not only are you testing on different viewports, but you're also testing on different browsers, different devices themselves, different operating systems as well, as different operating systems, different browsers will render websites slightly differently. So it's really important that you thoroughly test as well, all of them. The browser stack live for Teams function also allows users to test from anywhere at any time on the cloud, and it also now allows teams to connect the tools they already have to kind of capture bugs, file issues, and notify the right team members without ever leaving their dashboard. Unlike Inspect Element though, the browser stack isn't for free. They do have some pricing plans that can be as little as $29 a month. So you can take a look at some of the plans here and see which ones, which plan kind of suits you. But it's really, and while this might not be a cost that you were expecting whenever you're building out your website or any kind of application, it's really important that you invest some time and money into ensuring that your website is responsive. As mentioned before, more and more people are coming onto websites using their mobile. If it's not user-friendly, if it's difficult to navigate, they will be clicking off pretty soon. So it's really important that you have that mobile ready design and development on your website as well. Designing and developing a stable, strong, and secure website comes as the first logical step when you're establishing an online presence. You also want to make sure that you continually monitor your website performance with regular audits as well, because that's also crucial to maintaining the attention and loyalty of your customers. At ProfileTree, we not only can help you with developing and designing your website and ensuring that it's following the industry standards, and also that it's safe and secure and performs exactly how you want to. We also provide training to our clients as well, so you're fully capable of maintaining the application that we have built for you as well, and you have the confidence and the tools to do that. Get in touch today to see how ProfileTree can help your business website, or click below to see more of our videos. We have lots of videos on website development, on different platforms, design, and things like that.